Hello, happy Wednesday and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. I'm very excited to be with you for this wake up call this morning because we are previewing some of the absolutely incredible goodies that we've got coming up for you throughout the day here on Crafters TV. Now it's just myself here for wake up call. It's going to be a slightly shorter wake up call this morning, around about 45 minutes, but we're going to jam pack it full with lots of inspiration, lots of amazing products as well. So I hope you can join me for the full show. But like I've just said, we have got a jam packed day coming up here on Crafters TV. Lots and lots of inspiration is going to be coming your way. At 3 o'clock this afternoon UK time, we have another of our amazing Craft Your Stash shows. I know you've been loving those that we've been bringing to you this week so far, and today we're going to be talking all things box making. I know we get so many questions about how we create our boxes, how we actually put together those 3D construction projects, so that show this afternoon is going to be the place for you to learn all those amazing hints, all those tips and everything when it comes to those construction projects. And of course, with it being a Wednesday, that 6 o'clock show is going to be all about beautiful beginnings. So if you are brand new to crafting, then that's going to be absolutely ideal to take you back to basics, to take you back to exactly all those hints and tips. If you are new to crafting, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And believe you me, we've got some fantastic products coming up. And I think without further ado, we shall get into some of the amazing goodies that we're bringing to you on today's shows. So we've got some amazing box making dies. These are all our treat boxes. And first up we have our gorgeous, which one are we going for first? Our fabulous picnic treat box. Oh my goodness me, yeah, Johnny, you're right. Look at the price of these. This is absolutely amazing. We're talking about a 65% saving with this amazing collection of dies. So this is going to allow you to create your amazing treat boxes. This is your picnic treat box, and for a Platinum Club price today of £11.19 or $12.58, yeah, that's an over 65% saving. Wow, you can create your 3D boxes with absolute ease. You can see here you've got all of these dies included, absolutely everything you need to create not only the construction itself, that main box, but all the decorations as well. So bring in all of those decorative elements and you can start to put together the most fabulous boxes like you can see here on the packaging. However, it's not just about creating that sort of single box that we've got there. We also bring to you the templates, and what these allow you to do is create the most amazing sort of multiple faceted boxes with these amazing dies. So cut multiples of the boxes, construct them, lay them together, and you can start to create the most impressive creations like we can see on the packaging there. However, you are getting full instructions included as well, so it's very easy to put these incredible boxes together. Absolutely amazing price on this, just over a tenner to get all of those dies, the stencils as well, that's allowing you to create the most impressive boxes with absolute ease. I'm not surprised to hear it's already busy on those amazing dies so far this morning, so do get in quickly when it comes to those fabulous dies and stencils. Now, it's not just about that gorgeous set of dies, we have also got other options when it comes to your treat boxes. And next up we have our gorgeous prism treat box. Same idea with this one, where you're getting all of the dies included and then those stencils as well. So you can see on the packaging here, you can create the single box, and this actually works in both sort of portrait and landscape orientation as well, so lots of different options with this fabulous box. But then start to layer them together, bring that template into play, and you can get the most amazing roll-up treat boxes like we can see here. You can see you've got all the dies included, not just that main outline worker die that creates the actual box itself, but all those decorative elements as well, all the panels, all the embellishments, literally everything you need to create the most amazing boxes straight out of the packet. And then of course, in addition to the dies, we have the template as well, which is what allows you to create that sort of multiple box creation that you can see on the packaging. Amazing price on this one. Once again, you're saving over 65%, taking that price all the way down to £11.19 or $12.58 if you're part of that Platinum Club. And then finally, we have got our gorgeous roll-up treat box. This one is another fantastic jam-packed full set of dies, and this is actually going to be the one that we're using in our first demonstration. So I'm going to show you in just a few moments how you can pop this box together. But same idea with this one. You've got that main outline die that will create the actual box itself. And then you've got all the decorative panels. And don't forget as well, with these, you have the decorative detail as a separate die to that outer die. So it's up to you whether you're using that decorative die to cut that gorgeous lacy detail, or if you're just using that outer solid die and bringing in all those pattern papers. So many different options with this fantastic set of dies. And don't forget as well, each and every single one of those additional embellishment dies you can be using completely standalone away from these boxes. And then you are also getting included all of those templates as well. We have got all of those amazing options with this set of boxes. So you can create your single boxes or your multiple layered together boxes. So many options with this set of dies, and just for £11.19 or $12.58, it's absolutely amazing. If you have never tried box making before, then what a great place to start. You've got the die that will do all the cutting, and it'll pop all those score lines in for you as well. Now I might be on my own for this wake up call this morning, but I still do want to have all your comments. I want to know what you're up to today. What are you crafting? Oh wow, we've got a few comments coming on already. Got a happy birthday to say to our lovely Zoe Carver, so a very happy birthday to you. I hope you've got a lot of crafty goodies as presents, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's lovely to have your company for this show. Of course, any questions, get them in, and I will get these fed through my ear, and I'll do my very best to answer them throughout the show. But without further ado, I think it's time to have a little bit of a play with these amazing treat box dies. And I have to say, I'm very lucky to have all three. Quite frankly, at that price, it'd be rude not to go for all three, wouldn't it? Quite frankly, saving over 65% on each and every single one of them. And I love all of these, and it was a little bit of a tough decision which one I was going to choose to work with, but we're going to go with the roll-up treat box for this particular demonstration. I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this together, but we're going to pop a slightly different spin on this fantastic set of dies. So if we bring in our collection of dies, you can see how much you're getting included on that sheet of dies. It is literally crammed full of all those different dies. So you've got so much that you can start playing with straight out the packet. But let's start off with our main mechanism, almost like our worker die, the largest die within the die set. And the fantastic thing about these is you don't even have to have a scoreboard in your crafty stash to start playing with these dies. The beauty of these is not only does it cut the outline, you've also got the score lines in there as well. You can tell which ones are the cut lines and which ones are the score lines, because the score lines are slightly shallower than those cut lines. So you can see when you look at the die, when you run your finger over that surface, that you've got a slight difference in between those blades on your die. So with just one pass through the machine, oh, I nearly forgot to open the flaps for the Gemini. That wouldn't have been too good, would it? I'd open my front flap, but I'd not open the back flap, which is never good. Anyway, with one pass through the machine, as long as your Gemini's got its flaps open, you can cut this box, but not only cut the box, it's going to pop all of those score lines into that design for you as well. So it's not a two-step process, it is literally that one-step process, passing that through the die cutting machine with one pass, and you will get all those score lines popped into there for you as well. So you can see there, you've got your box cut out. We're going with a bit of craft card for this, I have to say. I do absolutely love my craft card. So going for a little bit of a rustic feel with this box, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Now what you'll see some of our experts doing is at this point some of them will be bringing out their scoreboards and their scoring tools and actually reinforcing some of those score lines, actually using their scoreboards. Completely up to you if you choose to do that. I find with a craft card it's not really necessary. If you're using something a little bit thicker and perhaps coated like your Centura Pearl, then I might go in at this stage with my scoreboard and just reinforce those score lines. But as you can see here, they've all scored absolutely perfectly. We're just going in and burnishing those score lines ready for when we come to construct our box. And literally how quick and simple was that? One pass through that machine, we've got the base of our box. Now of course, so with these fantastic dies, it's not just about creating that box, it's about how we're going to decorate all of our fantastic boxes, which makes these ideal if you are new to crafting or new to your box making and you've not got a lot in your crafty stash. I always say already, you know, we always build up our crafty stash quite quickly when we start on that crafting journey. But if you've not got much else to play with, then you don't need to worry at all, because we're including all of those decorative dies as well. So you're not having to look elsewhere in your crafty stash for those embellishments, for those extra finishing touches. Literally each and every single thing that you're going to need is included within this fantastic set of dies, and it's exactly the same with all of those die sets within this collection. Whether you're going for the picnic, the prism or the roll-up, you've got all of those decorative dies as well that you can be bringing into play. let's go in with a couple of our panel dies, and we're using some of our pattern paper. This is actually an older one. This is one of Sarah's signature Christmas collections from a good few years ago now, called A Winter's Tale. Yes, Johnny, I'm trying to work through my crafty stash. A lot of you guys at home will know that I'm moving, starting on Friday night. So I'm on wake up call in the morning, and then I'll just be in the office as usual in Friday afternoon, and then Friday night I'm starting moving and moving on Saturday as well. So it's going to be a busy weekend. I can't say I'm looking forward to the moving itself. I've done a bit of packing, you know, I'm not doing too badly. Been packing some of my crafty stash away, but that has meant that I've been discovering an awful lot of older crafty goodies, lots of old paper pads. So you might be noticing in some of my demos and samples coming up over the coming weeks and months even, some of the older paper pads coming into the fore, which I think it's great to revisit some of our older stash and just make the most of all the crafty goodies that we've already got, and mixing and matching with all of our newer goodies as well, which is always a good thing. Now, all I've done here is I've die cut a few more of the panels. So we've got 3 of the rectangles and 2 of those lovely little square designs onto there. And these are going to be what we use to decorate the panels of our box. So let's use some of our fantastic Collal all-purpose. Did you catch the glue school yesterday with Craig? That was a fantastic show. So inspirational to get all of those amazing hints and tips when it comes to your different types of glues and tapes. It was super educational. Go back and watch it, maybe between shows today, if you didn't catch that. Now, the way I always find easiest to do these is I sort of mock up popping the construction together as to determine where I need to stick my panels. So I can see here I'm going to need a panel stuck on that side, on the front, on the top, and then we'll need a couple on the sides. And I just pop a little marking onto there so I know exactly where I need to stick those panels. I know it seems like a daft little thing, but it does make a massive difference. It makes it a lot easier so you know that you're sticking your panels onto the correct side of the boxes. I have to say that's one of those learning from experience, shall we say. There's been many a time I've ended up sticking my panels onto the wrong sides of the box. So just by taking a moment to pop that box together, not sticking it together, but just sort of mocking up, popping it together, then pop a little marking on the sides where you need your panels, and then you'll know that you're sticking those panels onto the correct side of the box, which is just going to make your life an awful lot easier. Oh, we've had a question coming in from Lynn. Lynn, it's lovely to have your company. Oh, Lynn, what an absolutely fantastic idea. I'm loving this idea. Can you use your foiled acetate to actually pop together these boxes? Why on earth not? As long as it's construction weight. So I can imagine you're probably thinking of either our Halloween foiled acetate or our Christmas foiled acetate. I bet that's what you're thinking of. I bet you're looking at those in your crafty stash and thinking, oh, those would be lovely as boxes. Absolutely, you can do that. The only thing I'd say to bear in mind is because our construction weight acetate is really quite thick. It's fantastic quality. It's around 380 micron, which is really quite thick for an acetate. So what you need to bear in mind is that those score lines might not score quite as deep as you need them to. So it might be a case of then going in afterwards. You know, I was talking about going in with your scoreboard after you've die cut that die through the die cutting machine. You may very well need to do that when it comes to your acetate, but it will leave a slight imprint, so you will know where you need to pop those score lines in. And with these being just basic shapes, you can see that outer die here. It's just a straight edge die that should cut your acetate absolutely fine through your Gemini. But yes, I absolutely love that idea. Give it a go, and if you do give it a go, we'd love to see pictures. So do post those on our Facebook groups, because we always love to see what you guys at home are making. A fantastic question, so keep them coming. So let's start to pop this box together. Oh, Paper Queen is saying, I'll need an entire truck for my ribbon collection. Well, that's funny you should say that, because I opened a drawer that I'd not been in for a little while last night, actually. And believe it or not, I found yet another stash of ribbon that I'd completely forgotten about. So yeah, I thought I had a lot of ribbon, but I had even more than I realised, which is, I do like my ribbon, that is for sure. But yeah, a few trucks full of ribbon, and I can't imagine how many trucks are going to be filled with our 12 by 12 paper pads. Oh my goodness me. I've lost count of how many of the paper takers I've filled. It's beyond 20, shall we say, and that's just my Crafter's Companion 12 by 12 pads. So yeah, lots and lots of paper pads, that is for sure. In terms of constructing this box, it is super easy. All you need on those 4 innermost tabs is just some of your adhesive. Now I do always recommend red liner tape for construction. Here we're going in with our 3mm. I do believe over on the shop today you should see some of our red liner tapes, the different options when it comes to your different widths. We do our 3mm, our 6mm and our 12mm. I have to say, if I was working at home, I'd probably go in with the 6mm, but I'll be perfectly honest with you, there was only 3mm in the trolley beside me today, so we're going in with a 3mm. It'll still hold absolutely perfectly, but it's always nice to have all the different options in your crafty stash when it comes to the different widths, different use for a different job, just like we were learning about on glue school yesterday. So all we need to do now is just line up those sides and start to stick this box together. It literally could not be easier to put this box together. If you're not as confident when it comes to lining up those boxes, then all we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and pop some of our tacky glue onto the edges where we've just removed the backing, and that will give you that little bit of wiggle room. Do you know what I've done here? How have I managed to do this? No, I've not. Do you know what I thought I'd done? I thought I'd stuck it on the wrong way around, but I've not. Thank goodness for that. I'm just holding it back to front and upside down. That's why I use my little technique of marking the edges, and you can see exactly where you need to pop those panels on. And you can see when we turn it round the right way around, we have stuck the panels on the right way. Phew, that is a relief. Oh dear. I thought, you know what, I'm going on about, make sure you pop your marking on, you'll never get it wrong, and then I've got it wrong. But luckily I hadn't. So we're all good to go. And you can see that is our box created. How easy was that? Now if you've got magnets or some of those hook and loop dots that we brought with the original launch, just pop one of those onto that little flap, and that will keep that a bit more secure if you so wish. But just using that, even without those fastenings, it still closes perfectly, and you've got that gorgeous little box. Now, as part of this system, you do have several different options, and the instructions will take you through 2 main options. So we've got, first off, the one we've just done, which is a single box. And then you've actually got almost like that roll-up idea where you're popping multiples of those boxes together, 4 of those stuck together using your templates, and you can create that roll-up box. But we're going to do something that's different to both of those 2 designs. You know, I always like to mix it up a little bit, so let's change things up. So what I've gone ahead and done already is I've created another of those exactly the same boxes, and all we're going to do is we're just going to literally stick them back to back, and we're going to have the 2 boxes stuck together like a bit of a double box, which I think is quite cute. I'm thinking it'd be quite nice for Christmas gifts, this box. Maybe you're going to put I don't know, one flavour of special teas in one side, and then maybe it's going to be biscuits in the other. Something that's kind of like coordinates, I think would be quite cute when it comes to these little boxes. Maybe it's going to be different scents of little tea lights. I know a lot of people love their scented tea lights, so maybe you're going to have, I don't know, maybe it's going to be lavender in one side and vanilla in the other. That would be absolutely lovely. Perhaps you make different flavours of handmade truffles, and you're going to have one flavour in one side, one flavour in the other. Great shout in my ear there from Johnny. Maybe it's fudge. Our Sarah loves making a fudge. Perhaps it's going to be one flavour in one side, another flavour in the other. But I think it's just nice to have that little extra bit of room. So you're having those 2 boxes layered together gives you that little extra bit of space to pop all those gifts in. Well, this would also make a nice little sort of after dinner favour to have on your Christmas dinner table. That would work quite nicely as well. Maybe you're going to have some little after dinner mince in one side, little cheese and crackers in the other. Lots and lots of options, but I think it's nice to have these 2 boxes layered together. So you can see we have got our box that will open up on one side, and then as we close that one, we can also open up our little double box on the other side as well, which I think is really quite cute. But although we've got those lovely pattern papers on there, it is looking a little bit plain, so let's bring in some decoration to finish this off quite nicely. So I've gone back again, going back through some of my older crafty goodies. You can tell that I've been going through that older crafty stash, that is for sure. And this is some of our decoupage topper pads that we brought to you last year. I know we brought out a few newer designs this year, and of course those would work perfectly as well, but I thought, you know what, I know a lot of you guys at home managed to pick up this fabulous collection of toppers last year, so why not bring those out and start to mix and match those in, building these together to decorate our little Christmas box. So all we've gone ahead and done is we've literally just popped these out. They are already die cut for you, so it literally could not be easier to get layering these together and getting those lovely dimensional effects. And then we've just gone in with a little bit of our ink around the edges. we've used our lovely water reactive in our seal brown colour to give it that little bit of a rustic feel. We've got that nice warm vintage feel when it comes to that craft cardstock and the pattern paper that we've used. So I thought, you know what, let's bring in some of our inks and we can start to bring everything together, tie everything together quite nicely. So let's just go ahead and layer these together. I always personally tend to favour my foam pads. I know a lot of you like your 3D glue gel. I know that Craig was talking about this a lot on yesterday's glue school, but I find I can still get a really nice effect and plenty of dimension and shape even when I'm using my foam pads onto my decoupage layers. So let's start to just layer these together to get that beautiful dimension onto our poinsettia design. And then final layer, just trying to work out which way around that goes. Let's pop that onto the centre, just like so. And these are going to go onto our box just to embellish these up. So I think let's have that on the front there. That fits quite nicely onto there. Super simple box to put together because you've got all those gorgeous dies that are literally doing all of the hard work, all of the construction. There's no need to even get a measuring tool, a ruler, a pencil, a scoreboard, nothing like that, because the die is doing all the hard work. You can just go to town decorating these. You can go as minimalist or as sort of go to town as much as you like when you're decorating these, but you've got the beauty of that box being almost put together for you because you've got those amazing dies that do all of the hard work. And then just to finish it off, we've got a little die cut foil tag that we're going to pop onto there, and then of course a little ribbon bow that will just finish that tag off. Absolutely super simple to put together, but how fantastic are those dies? Absolutely love these dies. This being our roll-up treat box, you have got all of these dies and the stencils included as part of that collection for a Platinum Club price today of £11.19 or just $12.58. That's giving you all the dies. We've literally just used 3 of the dies there from that whole collection. You're getting a ton of dies included in that set, as well as all of those stencils as well. Very easy to put together, and if you're looking for those over on the website, do check out the shop today because we've got the other shapes of boxes as well available for you guys at home. Now it's October. What does that mean? Well, it means it's a very exciting month because we are celebrating our birthday, our 18th birthday, would you believe? And all the fun, all that excitement, all those amazing launches and incredible deals, it all kicks off on Monday. Have a little look at this.
Are you ready to find your sparkle? Well, grab your dancing shoes because we are going all out for our 18th birthday. Join us from the 9th to the 22nd of October to shine brighter than a disco ball. Everyone's invited, so shimmy on over to the new Crafters Companion website and get ready for the hottest party in town.
Are you as excited as we all are about our birthday? Oh my goodness, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Honestly, some of the launches are just out of this world. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And all that fun kicks off on Monday, so not long at all to wait. Now, we are in the middle of our wake-up call. We've got just over 20 minutes left on this show. It's been lovely to have all of your company throughout this first half of the show, and hopefully we're bringing to you some inspiration to get crafting with some of the amazing items that you'll find over on the shop today. Now, I do always go on about how much I absolutely love a nesting die, so I'm very excited about these. You know I love my nesting dies. I always say for me, they're some of my favourite sorts of dies to actually get playing with because they give you so many different options. Now, the beauty of your nesting dies is that you can use them standalone as that focal element for your projects, or you can be mixing and matching them with lots of other elements you've already got in your crafty stash. So they are sort of like the cornerstone of your die collection. Amazing saving on these ones, taking your Platinum Club price all the way down to £36 or $44. And that's for 4 sets of dies, giving you 24 dies in total. We're going to have a little play with a couple of the die sets within this collection. The beauty of these is that they'll actually all mix and match together, and that's what I want to show you with this demo, how we can actually bring the different die sets together to give us even more possibilities, even more options with these fantastic sets of dies. Now, ornate is the absolutely perfect word when it comes to these die sets. I mean, the detail within these is just absolutely stunning. So if we bring out the dies, you can see we have got all of the dies. We had one missing, but it's just hiding in the packet. And it's the same sort of idea with each and every single one of these 4 die sets that you're getting across this fantastic collection. So here we're using the topaz and the opal, and you can see you've got that outer die, which is that lovely rectangular die. It cuts as a frame, so that inner cuts out as an aperture, and you get that gorgeous inner detailed die as well. And then you can see with this one we've got more of a rectangular die for that inner die, and you've got all of your corners as well. We're bringing to you 4 corners in every single one of these die sets, which is incredible. So let's go with our oval die from our topaz die set, and then let's use that outer rectangular frame from that opal. I love the fact that you can mix these together. It just gives you lots of different possibilities when you start playing with all those different combinations. Now, oh, this cardstock is just absolutely gorgeous. This is becoming one of my go-to cardstocks actually. Discovered it only a few weeks ago. It's our Precious Metals luxury cardstock. You'll find that over on the website. It's not the Centura Pearl one. I know we have a Centura pack called Precious Metals as well. It's an A4 card pack, and we quite often do it in a bundle of 2 actually, where you get 2 packs and you get all sorts. It's a really good variety pack because you get not only a mirror like we're using here, you get glitter, you get self-adhesive glitter as well, which is amazing for die cutting. You get your satin card as well, and the colours are absolutely beautiful. Precious Metals is the perfect word for it. I have to say, it's one of those, you get it out of the packet and there's a lot of oohing and ahhing that goes on. It's like, ooh, ooh, shiny, ooh, glittery, ooh, I like that. I was very excited when I got my hands on my first pack of that. So that's going to become, for me, for sure, one of my go-tos when it comes to my sort of core cardstock that I use day in, day out in my crafting. Now, it's quite funny, I was talking about this the other day. I think it was with our Debbie Fisher. We were talking about our favourite cardstocks. Of course, I can't have a favourite because they're all my favourites. But anyway, that is a different story. But I was saying, in the past, I didn't really used to like my glitter or my mirror cardstocks. And I used to quite often steer clear of all those sorts of cards. I used to find them a little bit gaudy. I used to think they were not so classy when it came to those sorts of cardstocks. But now, I have to say, and you'll probably notice this from my demos because they do feature an awful lot. I love my glitter and mirror card. The quality of the glitter and the mirror card that we bring to you here at Crafters Companion is absolutely second to none. And if you've just got a little bit showing, if it's not an awful lot of glitter or mirror that you've got exposed on your cards, it gives you such a classy look and feel. I have to say, in smaller mats and layers, thin little mats and layers, or in little drop shadows, it works an absolute treat to bring in all of those luxury sorts of cardstocks. So definitely changed my opinion on all of those sorts of card. And I have to say, I am loving using all of those fantastic sort of luxury cardstocks that we bring to you. Our range is just fantastic. We bring to you some of the most gorgeous cardstocks, whether it's going to be your Centura Pearl. Of course, we bring to you all those different colorways, or maybe you love your luxury cardstocks, maybe you love all your glitter and your mirror cardstocks. You've got so many different options when it comes to your cardstocks. So what we're doing is we're going around and poking the pieces out. I'm just thinking I might want to run this through my die cutting machine one more time because of the detail, but let's have a little look at our other die. That looks like it's cut perfectly. You've got to remember that this is a super detailed die, and it's cutting through a coated cardstock. So when we talk about coated cardstock, we're talking about multiple layers within that cardstock. So you've got that, like that white backer, that white cardstock base to that card, if you like, and then you've got the coating over the top, which is like a plasticky sort of coating. So it can sometimes be a little bit more tricky to die cut these. So if you do have to run it through your die cutting machine another time, it's no problem at all. At the end of the day, when it's going through your Gemini 2, it's super quick anyway, so you're not having to spend an awful lot of time, even if you are running it through a second time. Now, a great question come through from Sandra Dundas. Good morning, Sandra. Lovely to have your company as ever. She's asking about the release holes on our die and how we can actually identify those. Great question. I shall show you when it comes to this die. So can you see on the back there, you've got all of your release holes. You literally just need to stick your pokey tool into there, and that will pop the pieces out. There's no sort of differentiation between which is the waste holes or which is the released holes. They do sort of look the same from the reverse, but just go around and poke through all of those and it will be nice and easy to actually release not only the waste pieces but also your die cut from the die. Now, oh, I've got confetti everywhere, lovely rose gold confetti absolutely everywhere. I mean, you could be saving those pieces if you want and using those on a shaker card. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually slip our die back into that die cut, just because I want to run that through our die cutting machine one more time. I'm hoping this is going to fit back through and it's not going to actually slip and move. You can do this as long as you line it up. Right, let's have a look. We're not going to worry if it does slip and move. We have got another one we can use, but because it's a die cut, because it's been cut using a die, it's exactly that same correct shape for the die. So technically, it should slip and click back into position. And fingers crossed, it's not moved, and we're going to be able to sort of recut this now. We're flying by the seat of our pants, quite literally. We shall see. This may have slipped. In that case, it's just a little bit piece of cardstock. I'm not going to worry about it at the end of the day. It's just giving it a go, isn't it? And I think we get a little bit too precious when it comes to our cardstock. We worry a little bit too much about wasting cardstock, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of cardstock. So you can see, phew, it ran back through absolutely fine. And that's the beauty of dies, because you cut it using a die rather than by hand. You know that it's exactly that same size and shape as the die. So as long as you click that back into position, you should be able to run that back through your machine. And if you need to recut it, then absolutely you can do. And you can see that second pass through the machine, it's cut through a lot more cleanly, which means it's going to be just a lot easier to pick all those pieces out. It had cut almost perfectly that first time, and I could probably have spent a little bit of time popping all those pieces out, but just for the sake of a few seconds, I mean, what is it, about 9 seconds to run it through the machine, it just means it's going to be a lot quicker to poke all these pieces out. Absolutely gorgeous detail in this die though, isn't it amazing? To get all of that lacy detail, you get the aperture cut in the middle as well with one pass. You're not having to go back in with a separate die to cut you that centre frame out. But how gorgeous does that look out of your luxury cardstock? I mean, it looks like real metal, doesn't it? That looks like it could almost be the die itself, let alone the die cut. So let's just go around and continue poking all our little pieces out, and then we'll start to pop a card together. Now, it's lovely to have all of your comments, all of your questions come through. If you do have any questions, we are on Wake Up Call for about another 15 minutes. So do get those questions in. You do have a few moments left to get all those questions in. Ooh, Kim, that's a good point. She'd love to be able to buy the satin card on its own. Well, I think Leanne's meant to be in tomorrow, so get your comments in if you've got any suggestions. It's always a good idea, you know, when Leanne's on the shows, get your questions and your suggestions in, because she is the one to make them happen. That is for sure, and she certainly does listen. We always listen to all of your comments that you send through, all those suggestions and ideas that you bring to us from you guys at home. So definitely do get those ideas in. But I have to say, I agree, I would like that an awful lot myself as well. So what we've gone ahead and done is we've just seen cutting our gorgeous dies from that lovely rose gold, but we've also cut them from some of our ivory cardstock as well. And of course, knowing me, we're going to bring in a drop shadow. So what we're going to do is let's just bring in a piece of scrap paper to pop underneath, and we're going to drop shadow these together. We're going to use our dotty tape pen. These are, oh my goodness me, believe it or not, in stock. Now is the time to pick these up while you can, because we know what it's like with our dotty tape pens. You don't know how long they're going to be in stock for. So while we've got them, grab these because they are in stock over on the website. What we're going to do is going to lay our ivory card over the top, and then we're just going to offset our rose gold slightly down and slightly towards the left to give us that little bit of a drop shadow. Not an awful lot, just a little bit to really bring that detail to the fore. And doesn't that make a big difference when we layer those together? Let's go ahead and do exactly the same on our outer frame. And don't forget, we've used 2 different collections of dies here. We've not used the same die set. We've used 2 of the different die sets to show how you can actually mix and match these fantastic sets of dies together. So if you are going for that collection, don't just think of it as 4 separate sets of dies. Think of it as a true collection of dies, and think of all those different layering and mixing and matching opportunities that you've got with this fantastic collection. So just going in and drop shadowing in exactly the same way those 2 gorgeous die cuts together. But let's leave those to one side for just a moment and start to layer together our card. And now you might be seeing this theme emerging. Another thing that I discovered in my crafty stash. Oh, our Sarah signature boxes. Do you remember, and I'm sure a lot of you guys at home will have got this in your crafty stash, because I know it was very, very popular at the time when we launched this. Do you remember the Sarah signature Send with Love box? Unfortunately, someone had forgotten about theirs, but luckily they discovered it the other day when they were packing. I wonder who we're talking about. I had quite a lot of the papers left, I have to say, because it was one of those, when I first got it, the papers are just so stunning. I didn't want to use them too much because I was scared of them running out. But I was very good the other day and I thought, you know what, Lily, you've got this box, you may as well use it. There's nothing that's got sort of less value than stuff you have in your crafty stash that you don't use. There's no point having it if we don't use it. So I thought, you know what, let's bring this into play in this demo. And the papers in this box are just absolutely stunning. So I thought, you know what, let's go with some of these papers for this card. So what we've done is we've cut some of the papers from that box, the Sarah Signature Sent with Love. We're layering it onto a thin matte layer of that lovely rose gold card. It's just about 1/4 of an inch of that rose gold showing. And then we're popping that into our card base made from ivory card, and we have cut that card base to 5.5 inches by about 6 3/4. So that's our card base all done and good to go. Then we're going to start to bring in our different dies and start to lay this up. So I always play about with composition first before I actually stick anything down. We could go in with our composition a little bit like that, but I've decided I'm going to bring in an extra matten layer just to sort of frame that inner die a little bit more. Doesn't it just draw your eye into the centre that little bit extra by having that little matten layer with that extra bit of your rose gold cardstock? It really does make a big difference just by literally adding in one layer. And it's one of those, I always say, don't commit to the stick. Always have a little play around with your design before you stick anything together. Just make sure that you're happy, have a little look, think, maybe I need to add in an extra layer, maybe that needs a bit of ink, maybe that needs a little bit more dimension. By layering everything together first, without sticking it, you've got that ability to go back in and change things, which is exactly what I did with this particular card. Now, in terms of lining this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this outer frame first, and then I'm going to position that inner matten layer into the centre, and I think that'll be the easiest way to do that, by lining that one up first off. So let's bring in, once again, some of our fabulous dotty tape pen. Now, quite often when I'm at home, I'll be working with my tacky glue in my fine tip glue applicators, but unfortunately both of those are out of stock at the moment. So I thought, you know what, I will use my dotty tape pen while it's in stock. And I know a lot of you guys at home love using your dotty tape pens as well, so perfect opportunity to use those. And I've just spied a little straggler, one final little piece of die cut detail in there. It's one of those, when you see it, you can't unsee it. So I'm getting my poker tool back in there. There it is. Got it gone. I mean, it's one of those that probably no one else would notice, but once you know it's there, you can't unsee it. So it's got to be removed. So let's go in with our dotty tape pen all over the back of here, making sure we've got plenty of adhesive on there, so it's going to stick nice and firm onto our card base. And then let's bring this in. Now, with my drop shadows, I always tend to have that underneath layer slightly down and slightly towards the left, but of course that is just personal preference. I know different members of our team do this a little bit differently, so they might have their drop shadow on the right hand side or towards that uppermost section. That is completely up to you. It is just personal preference. Now, I always find it's easier, if you can, when you are positioning something and trying to get it straight, I always find it easier to look sort of from above. So if you can stand up and just see that sort of like a bird's eye view, it makes it a lot easier, I always find. So that's all stuck down. Then let's bring in our lovely centre that's going to go onto there. And I'm thinking, do you know what? Let's bring in, of course, it's a Lily card. So you know we've got to bring in. We've got to bring in some foam tape. You know what I'm like. And yes, I do have a full drawer just filled with foam tape and foam pads. That is how much I love foam tape and foam pads. And when we say a full drawer, we're not talking like a little drawer. We're talking, you know, the big cube units that you get from a certain Swedish furniture shop. It's one of those cube size filled with all my foam tape and foam pads, because I'm sure you can imagine I get through quite a lot of foam tape and foam pads, that is for certain. But I just think it makes such a difference to all of your cards to bring in that extra bit of dimension. Doesn't that make a difference to have that extra layer in the centre? You think it won't make all that much of a difference, just one extra piece, but it really does start to bring things to life that little bit more. Then let's bring in our next frame. I'm thinking, can we get a little bit of foam behind there? Yeah, I think we've got just about enough space. You can see in that inner section there, it's a little bit more chunky, it's a little bit thicker. So you've got that space where you can actually get a foam pad behind there, which I absolutely love. Bringing in some of our foam pads and actually cutting those down to size to make them that little bit more narrow. You can actually get them around the curve a little bit as well. They don't just have to be stuck straight. You can sort of angle those a little bit as well to get them flowing around that curve, so it's going to fit perfectly, and we're not going to see any of that foam peeking out behind our die cut. Then it's just a case of lining that up, getting it nice and central, nice and straight and even, and level onto our card base. I'm actually using some of the points where they are symmetrical on the die to help get me sort of in position and lined up. And you can see, doesn't that look pretty? Doesn't it look regal and opulent with all of those gorgeous layers and drop shadows onto there? But within the collection, I did show you earlier as well, on each and every single one of those die sets, you get the corners included. So you get so many different corners to choose from. You're getting 4 within each die set. So what we've gone ahead and done is we've cut a couple of these from that beautiful rose gold cardstock once again. And these are just almost like going to crown your beautiful die cuts, crown your beautiful frames for that extra finishing touch and to bring in some more of that beautiful rose gold. So let's have one top and bottom. So lining that up onto there, and then let's glue up the other one. And I love the fact that within every die set you're getting 4 different corners, so it's giving you even more different options. Rather than giving you 4 of the same, we've given you 4 distinct corners, so it's going to give you lots and lots of different options to play about with. And then finally, to finish it off, we need a little bit of detail into the centre, just to sort of give us that focal element in the middle of our card. We've gone ahead with one of our dies. I know so many of you have this one in your crafty stash. This is from the Sarah Signature Garden Party range, the Celebrate die. Very, very useful set of dies that I use a lot in my card making. You've got that outer die, that matte die, and then you've also got the detail. So we've got our matte from that lovely cream ivory cardstock, and then we've got our detail from that rose gold, and we're just going to layer these together. With it being a really quite delicate die that we've got, and we just want to make sure that we've got it lined up absolutely perfectly, I'm going in with my tacky glue. I do just find it a little bit easier when you've got really detailed sentiments like this one that can sort of bend and curve around. I find it gives you that little bit of wiggle room, that little bit of time to actually get that all lined up, especially when you're using a coated cardstock like this gorgeous pearl ivory is. Just give that a moment to grab. It does take a moment longer to grab on your coated cardstock compared to something that's uncoated like your multi-purpose, but once that's grabbed, you know with tacky glue it will be stuck absolutely perfectly. I do find it helps if you just turn it over and give it a little bit of a burnish, just to give that tacky glue that moment to grab, and that will allow that to be perfectly positioned onto there, just like so. Now to finish that off, let's place that in the middle, but once again, it's a Lilly card, so what do we need? We need some of our foam onto there. So let's bring in some of our foam pads, cutting these down to size, which is nice and easy to do. Especially when they're on the carry sheet as well, because it doesn't gunk up your scissors, which is absolutely fantastic. Couple of pieces onto the centre there, and that's going to lift that proud from that lacy detail that we've got on our frame and start to bring everything together to sort of finish off our card. Let's place that central, line it up nice and level in the middle of our frame there, and then that is our card all finished, all good to go. But just focusing on those beautiful ornate nesting dies, showing how you can mix and match a couple of the sets together. Very simple card when you actually break it down, just a few of those die cuts layered together with your gorgeous pattern papers, but how amazing are those ornate nesting dies. All 4 sets, 24 dies in total for just £36 or $44. Amazing deal on those. They're a crafty staple that you'll be using in your crafting day in, day out, that's for sure. Now, nearly at the end of the show, just a couple of minutes left, so it's time to get that vote in for demo of the show. So, demo number 1, we went all things Christmas with one of our Christmas treat boxes, using those fantastic treat box dies that we've got a few over on the shop today. This one being our lovely roll-up treat box. That is demo number 1. And then the one we've just created for you, using those beautiful ornate nesting dies, that is demo number 2 if you want to go for that one. So is it going to be number 1? Or is it going to be demo number 2? That one is completely up to you, which one you want to go for, all down to you. So get those votes in before the end of the show, and then we will choose a winner for demo of the show that will go into the vote for demo of the day. We have got so many amazing shows coming up for you guys throughout the day here on Crafters TV. So I hope you'll be able to join the rest of the team for those other 2 shows as well. Now, that first demonstration was all about box making, and that's what our show at 3 o'clock is all about. It's a craft your stash show all about box making. We're going to take it right back to basics and show you quite how easy it is to create your boxes. And one of the easiest ways to create your very own boxes has to be using dies, because not only do they cut that box design out for you, they also pop in all those score lines. So with one pass through the machine, you've got not only that outer box shape, but you've also got all those score lines included as well. So very easy to start to put these boxes together. This one is your picnic treat box. Absolutely fantastic set of dies. Not only are we bringing to you that outer mechanism die, that worker die that will create the actual box itself, we're bringing to you all the panels, all the decorations, all of those embellishments, so you can start to create the most amazing boxes when you are using this fantastic set of dies. But it's not just about dies with this one, it's also about your stencils and your templates as well. And the beauty with these amazing collections of dies that we're bringing to you, and there are 3 different of your treat boxes you'll find over on the shop the day. It gives you the ability to create lots of different kinds of boxes. So it's not just about creating that singular box like you can see on the packaging there. Bring that template into play and you can start to layer these together in very impressive creations with multiple boxes on there. That whole collection, 25 elements in total, so you're getting 23 dies, or you're getting 23 dies and 2 templates for an amazing Platinum Club price today of just £11.19 or $12.58. Amazing, over 65% saving. Absolutely incredible value for money. Check that out over on the shop the day on the website. Now we have got a voting for demo of the show. Johnny's doing a drum roll, I'm doing a drum roll. It's going to demo number 2. So using our Ornate destined dies, of course you'll find that full collection over on the shop the day on the website. We mixed and matched a couple of those die sets to create this card. I have to say I love the colours of this one. But that's going to go into demo of the day, with that being our demo of the show. Now, we've had an action-packed wake-up call. Thank you so much for all of you joining me this morning. I know it was a short one, I know it was a little bit fast and furious, but I have to say I had a whale of a time creating those couple of projects for you guys at home, so I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. But of course, the inspiration keeps going all day here at Crafters TV. We're also on QVC Extra as well, so make sure you join Ben and Craig. They're going to be live at 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock. 15 minutes to go. Time to grab yourself a cuppa and a few biscuits. Make sure you join Ben and Craig at 12 o'clock on QVC. Then, of course, Craft Your Stash is back here on Crafters TV at 3 p.m. UK time, and then as well it's Wednesday. It wouldn't be a 6 o'clock show without our beautiful beginnings. So 6 o'clock here in the UK, we have got some amazing goodies coming to you on Beautiful Beginnings. I'll be back myself on Friday morning wake up call alongside the fantastic Debbie Robinson. It's been lovely to have your company for this morning's show, and I hope you'll stay tuned for the rest of the day here on Crafters TV. But until next time, happy crafting, take care, bye bye.